Let's switch over to 15's news. This weekend kicks off a tsunami of matches ahead of the WXV at the end of September. It all begins on Friday, September 6th, Scotland versus Wales. You can watch on BBC iPlayer or we think Rugby Pass if you're not local. And then on Saturday, Barbarians versus South Africa. Broadcast details not released yet, but we're hoping for Rugby Pass. And then, of course, England versus France. Watch on BBC One or on Rugby Pass. We're especially excited for England versus France this weekend. It is the number 1 versus the number 4. The last time they saw each other was at the Six Nations Grand Slam decider in Bordeaux, where England triumphed 42-21, scoring 6 tries, including 2 from Alex Matthews. The Barbarians announced their squad ahead of their match against South Africa this weekend. There are 7 unions represented, and we'll see several retired players come out of that retirement to grace the pitch again. Scotland announced their 30-player squad for their Autumn Tests and the WXV. They also announced a new multi-year partnership with Vodafone. They've become the principal partner and back-of shirt sponsor for the men and women's teams. In puzzling news, Scotland also announced the return of David Nucifora, whose legacy in women's rugby, particularly in Ireland, remains very questionable. His tenure saw significant criticism, including a letter from 62 former and current Irish players expressing no confidence in the union. This led to the RFU accepting 30 recommendations from an independent review and committing over $1 million in additional investment to rebuild the women's game. Some of the media are applauding this, but those that are aware of what happened in Ireland definitely have some puzzles. The Wallaroos celebrated 30 years since their first test match in 1994 when they faced the Black Ferns in North Sydney Oval, with Kayla Clay holding the honor of the Wallaroos cap number 1. They tapped that off this week with Joe Yap announcing their touring squad as they prepare for matches ahead of the WXV. Ireland announced central contracts for 37 players. This is across their high-performance list of work for 15s and 7s. And then they also, Scott Beemand named the 35-player squad ahead of next week's test match against the Wallaroos in Belfast. In Japan, the Pearls announced this signing of this dynamic duo. Portia Woodman-Wycliffe comes on as a player. She's played there the last couple of years. And Renee Woodman-Wycliffe will come on as an assistant coach.